The silent departure of the Blackwood family. The year was 1908, and the remote, mist-shrouded village of Havenwood nestled deep within the ancient, gnarled embrace of the Whisperwind Mountains. Life here was simple, dictated by the rhythm of the seasons and the comforting familiarity of close-knit community bonds. Yet, an undercurrent of unease had begun to ripple through Havenwood, a subtle tremor that hinted at something far more sinister than the usual hardships of mountain life. It started with whispers. Hushed tales exchanged over flickering hearth fires, of strange lights dancing in the distant peaks, and an unsettling silence that sometimes descended upon the forest, a silence so profound it seemed to swallow sound itself. It was against this backdrop of growing apprehension that the Blackwood family vanished. Elias Blackwood, a stoic and respected timber merchant, his gentle wife Sarah, and their two bright-eyed children, 8-year-old Lily and 12-year-old Thomas, were pillars of the Havenwood community, their home a sturdy, two-story farmhouse on the outskirts of the village was a beacon of warmth and industry. On the morning of October 17th, however, the usual plume of smoke from their chimney was absent. The livestock remained unfed, their lowing a mournful counterpoint to the eerie stillness that hung over the farm. A neighbor, concerned by the unusual quiet, ventured to their door, only to find it ajar, swinging idly in the crisp autumn breeze. Inside, there was no sign of struggle, no overturned furniture, no indication of a hurried departure. The breakfast table was set, half-eaten plates of porridge still sitting, congealed and cold. A child's toy discarded on the floor. A wooden soldier that Lily had cherished. Sarah's knitting basket sat beside her favorite armchair, needles still embedded in an unfinished scarf. It was as if the family had simply ceased to exist, plucked from their lives in the blink of an eye. The only anomaly was a faint, almost imperceptible scent in the air, a metallic tang that no one could quite place, mingling with the familiar smell of wood smoke and damp earth. The entire village mobilized. Search parties scoured the surrounding forests, their calls echoing through the valleys, but found nothing. No footprints, no discarded belongings, no broken branches to suggest a path taken. The local sheriff, a grizzled man named Jedediah Stone who had seen his share of mountain mysteries, was baffled. He interviewed every villager, every passing traveler, but no one had seen anything out of the ordinary. The Blackwood family had simply vanished, leaving behind a void that stretched beyond their empty farmhouse, casting a long, cold shadow over the heart of Havenwood. The case was eventually closed, filed under unexplained, but for the villagers, the mystery of the Blackwoods remained a festering wound, a chilling reminder of the unknown forces that lurked just beyond the edge of their perceived reality. The enigma of the shifting sands. Decades later, far from the cold embrace of the Whisperwind Mountains, a new mystery began to unfold in the scorching, desolate expanse of the great arid desert. This was the domain of the nomadic Tuareg tribes, people who lived in harmony with the harsh environment. Their lives a testament to resilience and ancient wisdom. Their knowledge of the desert was unparalleled, their ability to navigate its treacherous dunes and find hidden oases legendary. Yet, even their profound understanding of the land could not explain the phenomenon of the shifting sands. It started with isolated incidents. A lone traveler, known for his unerring sense of direction, disappearing mid-journey, leaving behind only his camel and a half-empty water skin. Then, entire caravans, laden with precious goods and experienced guides, would vanish without a trace, their tracks simply ending abruptly in the middle of a vast, featureless dune. The desert, usually a canvas of subtle changes, seemed to actively erase any evidence of their passage. No bodies were ever found, no scattered belongings, no signs of struggle against bandits or the elements. It was as if the desert itself had swallowed them whole, leaving behind only the haunting silence and the endless, undulating expanse of sand. One of the most perplexing cases was that of the Ulmer caravan, led by the venerable elder Omar. Omar was a living legend, his face etched with the wisdom of 100 desert crossings, his eyes keen enough to read the slightest shift in the wind. In 1957, he set out with his caravan of 20 men and 30 camels, transporting rare spices and silks across a well-traveled route. They were expected to arrive at the trading post in 3 weeks. 3 weeks turned into a month, then 2, and the Ulnar caravan never appeared. Search parties, dispatched by worried relatives, found nothing but the relentless, windswept dunes. The only clue, if it could even be called that, was a single, perfectly preserved ancient coin, not of any known currency, found half buried in the sand where the caravan's tracks abruptly ceased. Its surface was smooth, cold to the touch, and bore an inscription in a language no living scholar could decipher. The Tuareg elders spoke of ancient spirits, jinn of the desert, who sometimes chose to claim mortals for their own mysterious purposes. They whispered of mirages that were more than just optical illusions, of shimmering veils that led the unwary into other realms. But even these explanations, steeped in centuries of folklore, felt inadequate to describe the absolute, clinical precision of these disappearances. The shifting sands seemed to possess an intelligence, a predatory patience that defied natural explanation. The desert, once a source of life and livelihood, became a place of profound dread, its beauty now tinged with the chilling possibility of an unseen, insatiable hunger. And the coin, that solitary, enigmatic artifact, became a silent testament to a truth far stranger than any legend. The vanishing act of the Starlight Express *** in the bustling, technologically advanced world of 2023, where every movement was tracked and every signal monitored. The concept of a complete disappearance seemed almost impossible, yet the case of the Starlight Express defied all logic, becoming a modern-day enigma that captivated and terrified the global population. The Starlight Express was not just any train, it was a marvel of engineering, a high-speed, luxury passenger train designed to traverse continents in record time, equipped with state-of-the-art GPS, satellite communication, and biometric security systems. Its maiden voyage, from London to Tokyo, was a highly anticipated event, carrying a select group of VIPs, scientists, and media personalities. On the night of its disappearance, the Starlight Express was crossing the vast, uninhabited plains of Siberia, a region known for its extreme weather but otherwise considered safe. At precisely 2:17 a.m. GMT, the train's signal, which had been meticulously tracked by multiple ground stations and satellites, simply ceased. One moment, it was a blinking dot on the global tracking map. The next, it was gone. There was no distress call, no sudden halt in speed, no indication of a malfunction. It was as if the train, with its 300 passengers and crew, had been erased from existence. Initial theories ranged from a catastrophic technical failure to a sophisticated terrorist attack. However, extensive aerial and ground searches, involving international collaboration and the most advanced surveillance technology, yielded absolutely nothing. The tracks remained intact, stretching endlessly across the frozen landscape, but there was no wreckage, no debris, no sign of a derailment or explosion. The last known location of the train was a perfectly ordinary stretch of railway, surrounded by an unbroken expanse of snow and ice. It was as if the train had driven into a portal, leaving no trace of its passage. Dr. Reese Thorne, a renowned physicist and expert in quantum mechanics, was among the many scientists brought in to consult on the case. He meticulously analyzed all available data, searching for any anomaly, any deviation from the expected. His findings were unsettling. The energy signature around the last known location of the Starlight Express showed a momentary, inexplicable spike, followed by a complete void, as if a localized black hole had briefly opened and then closed. This theory, while scientifically intriguing, offered no practical explanation for the train's disappearance or the fate of its occupants. The world watched in stunned silence as the days turned into weeks, and the Starlight Express remained a ghost, a phantom of the tracks, its vanishing a stark reminder of the fragile boundaries of human understanding in an increasingly complex world. The case became a chilling testament to the fact that even in an age of omnipresent technology, some mysteries remain stubbornly, terrifyingly unsolved. Part 4 of The Whispers of the Void. Our final tale takes us to the present day, to the isolated research facility known as Project Chimera. Nestled deep within the Antarctic ice, Dr. Evelyn Reed, a brilliant but reclusive astrophysicist, had dedicated her life to studying anomalies in spacetime. Her team had recently detected a series of faint, rhythmic energy pulses emanating from a previously unmapped region beneath the ice sheet. These pulses, unlike anything ever recorded, seem to defy known physics, hinting at a phenomenon beyond human comprehension. One frigid Antarctic night, as a blizzard raged outside, the facility experienced a sudden, inexplicable power surge. All systems flickered, then died, plunging the complex into darkness. When emergency power kicked in moments later, a chilling discovery was made. 3 members of Dr. Reed's core research team, Dr. Ben Carter, the lead xenolinguist, Dr. Anya Sharma, the chief geophysicist, and technician Mark Jenkins were gone. Their workstations were still active, their coffee cups half full, but the individuals themselves had vanished. The heavy, reinforced doors of the research lab were still locked from the inside, and there was no sign of forced entry or struggle. It was as if they had simply dematerialized. Security footage from the corridor leading to the lab showed nothing. The cameras had inexplicably blacked out for the exact duration of the power surge. Dr. Reed, haunted by the inexplicable loss of her colleagues, reviewed the data from the energy pulses. She noticed a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in their rhythm, a new, complex pattern that seemed to emerge precisely at the moment of the disappearance. It was a pattern that resonated with an ancient, forgotten language she had once encountered in a dusty, forbidden text, a language of creation and dissolution, of being and non-being. Driven by a desperate need for answers, Dr. Reed continued her research, pushing the boundaries of her sanity. She began to hear faint whispers, not unlike the ones reported in the Whispering Woods, but these were different. They were not voices, but a symphony of frequencies. A cosmic hum that seemed to emanate from the very fabric of reality, calling to her, promising understanding. She theorized that the energy pulses were not just signals, but a form of localized space-time distortion, a gateway to avoid where conventional laws of physics did not apply. Her colleagues, she believed, had not vanished, but had been translated to this void. Their existence simply unwritten from our reality. Dr. Reed herself was last seen in her lab, surrounded by glowing monitors displaying the enigmatic pulse patterns. Her final log entry, scrawled in a trembling hand, spoke of a profound realization, a terrifying beauty in the emptiness. When the next supply team arrived, they found the facility deserted, save for the faint, rhythmic hum emanating from the now empty research lab. The case of Project Chimera joined the ranks of the unexplained, another chilling testament to the terrifying possibility that some disappearances are not just unsolved, but fundamentally unsolvable, hinting at a reality far more complex and terrifying than we can ever imagine. The echoes of the vanished continue to resonate, a silent warning from the edge of the unknown.